Welcome in this new video where I will present an open source project I created to manage Terraform state in a MongoDB database. So first off, what is Terraform? Terraform, it's the most used technology to manage an infrastructure. So it's an infrastructure as code tool, very interesting. But this tool is stateful, which is a good thing, but at the same time, you will have to manage the state file somewhere. And it's very sensitive, very important. It's key really about the processing. There are multiple ways to manage the states, but none of them is in a database, which is kind of a shame because Terraform state file is basically JSON content. And what I wanted to do is to use MongoDB, which is a NoSQL database, very convenient and reliable to manage JSON data, in particular with a flexible schema approach, which is what we want. We don't want to have something very hard-coded for us. So I created this open source project here. And if we look at what it is, from the Terraform user point of view or OpenTofu user point of view, it's very transparent. The command will work as expected with all the features like locking. But on our side, what is very interesting is we can save the data in a database that can be used later on to gather information, insights about what we do, that is highly available. So the component is basically a REST API, very small REST API that is compatible and compliant with Terraform ways to send data over HTTP, authenticated. And this is what I want to show you here. It's basically the quick start that I will go through. And to do this, you need two tools. In the future, I will add other tools like Podman and OpenTofu. But for now, I am using Docker as a CLI for containers and also the engine to run containers. It's the best way to have a very small footprint, and we use WC Terraform. So we'll start by using, and all the files that I'm downloading here, it's in the open source project, so you can feel free to have a look at it. So first of all, we will use a compose file. So this compose file will basically run the database in a container, so MongoDB database in a container. And we will use also the application. And if we look at what's running on the machine, we can see there is the open source project, which is an API listening to port 9001, which is the one configured, and MongoDB on the latest version 8.2. So now if we look, so this API in a development environment, you can have access to its definition with the Swagger web page. So we have it here. So we can see all this. These are all the actions that are defined to match the requirements from Terraform. But if we have a try, for example, for this one, we say something. We can have a try. We are not authorized, which is what we want. We want to be secured by default. So the next step to do is to authenticate calls. We need to create a user. So here again, there is a command, a script here that is here. We'll just make executable, and then we can run the command line to create a user. So we can see we create a user called admin with a password and with a tenant. And the tenant is very, very important because it's very important to restrict all the access that are done on a specific project for users. And if I go back in my UI, if I use admin and the password, so I do authenticate here, it will be authenticated in the call, and then I use the right tenant. I can see that I'm authorized. Well, there is nothing, it's what we want, and if I'm using another tenant, we can see I'm locked out. So far so good. We are able to query the REST API, and now we can use Terraform. So I did a very basic Terraform file, so no risk to harm your machine on this one. And we can look at it. It's very basic. We will execute a command, we will create a local file, and we will display a random string. It's very, very basic, but just to show like what we can do with Terraform. The very important part here is to update the backend definition to say, okay, we will use a HTTP backend, and we've got the address, and you can see it's the port that I have got locally, and we have the user and password. Obviously, the password shouldn't be put like this. There are ways to do it better and more secured in Terraform, but for me it's very for educational purposes here. So now I've got my remote state API available. I've got a database to store it, so we can go for it. So the next step is to make a Terraform init. So to initialize, it will look at the definition and check everything is okay. So we can see, okay, it's pulling everything and it's good. And now we can do an apply. So if you're not familiar with it, it's the way where we will do the actual change. We can review it before with a plan, but here it's quite easy and we can see it anyway. And we can see we will do like, we can review what will be done, and we'll see there will be a temp file, there will be some string to be generated. It's okay for me, so I say yes. And we can see it's successful. But then what is very interesting is to look at what's happening in the database. And so there is a command line here, but it's even better. We can use MongoDB client Compass to do it. So if I do connect correctly, we can see that there is a database, and we can see like the log, no log currently. We can see the users. I did a lot of tests, so I should remove them. And then we can see that like this is the one I just did. You can see the timestamp. And what is massively interesting, here you have the state information, but it's not something that shouldn't be a burden. This is very valuable information. So on top of, like if you are using a real MongoDB deployment, you will have high availability, like you can share it very easily in the cloud to multiple instances. You can be sure it won't fail with like backups and everything. Really highly available. And at the same time, you have, it's JSON, so it's perfect for MongoDB. You have all this information. So this is it. We can see that it works as expected. Well, just for a matter of, I will destroy everything. And we can see it's okay. And now if I query again this document, we can see that the array empty is empty. So we can see also that it can be a very interesting source of truth. And this is something that is lacking for a lot of patterns that practices about infrastructure as code. Information can be duplicated a lot of places. Whereas what is very interesting here, you can also take all the advantage of the Terraform state to potentially build a single source of truth and link it with the infra manager. So I'm done with the demonstration. It's an open source project. Please have a go if you want. I will be very interested to know if it makes sense for you. If you like it, please free to like this video and like the project. And contribute as much as you want. You can create an issue if you want to have a specific feature. If there is something that is not well documented, you can make a code change if you want. Everything is described in the contributing. Thank you very much.